shots fired. 2 Lincoln 31 shots fired. There, officer down. Officer down.
On July 12, 2022, Clear Creek Township 14-year veteran officer Eric Ney was shot in the face while responding to a domestic violence call.
It was a terrible night, a lot of emotion amongst all the officers and the community. And the saving grace was that he survived, and that's where our hope went to, as we knew that he was going to have some permanent injuries, but that he had survived.
Eric was airlifted to Miami Valley Hospital. His wife, Lisa, and 2 children, Emma and Adam, rushed to be by his side.
He had blood everywhere. But I knew when I went next to the bed that God gave me such a peace that he was going to live and he was going to be okay. I just knew. I knew he was going to have a long road, but I knew he was going to be okay.
Eric remained in the ICU for over a week recovering and spent another 9 days in rehab. He finally came home on July 30th.
When he came home in 3 weeks, we were just like, oh my gosh. And I never thought that anything else would go wrong. You know, I'm not a doctor. I don't know that, this could happen or that could happen. Nobody said this could happen or that could happen. So I was like, oh, we're through this, we're good. And so the worst part was going back.
Shortly after returning home, Eric started having chest pain. On August 7th, he was readmitted to the hospital where they found several blood clots in his lungs.
One was pressing on his heart, and that's why his heart came back, because they thought maybe he was having a heart attack at first because his heart came back not good. And then when we got up there, they found more blood clots in his legs, so he had to get what they call an umbrella put in to catch if they break off.
But Eric's challenges did not end there.
He started talking really weird, strange things, like did not make sense, and I'm like, this is not normal from when he came home.
A CAT scan showed excess air in Eric's brain. To get the air out, Eric had to lay completely flat for a week.
The air was going away, so they sat him up, and as soon as they sat him up, all the air came back. So then it was back to, it was like a waiting game. Well, let's try this. Let's see what this does.
But the air was still there. Eric underwent 2 brain surgeries to repair a bullet hole where the air was coming in from. He also had 2 external ventricular drains inserted into his head.
He had 2 EVDs in his brain, one for air, one for spinal fluid. So they were slowly sitting him up a little bit at a time to see. And then they took 1 EVD out, and he did fine. And then they took the other one out, and air got back in. So that was another week and a half of just laying and getting CAT scans. He's had probably 150 CAT scans.
After 6 weeks, the air was gone, and Eric was moved to a rehab center on September 21st.
He has probably 2 hours of PT, an hour OT, and an hour of speech. And so they kind of break that up through the day.
Eric returned home in early October, but he has a long road ahead of him filled with surgeries and therapy.
He can't see out of his eye, and there is a bullet fragment or a bone fragment that's pushing on the optic nerve that's causing him not to see out of it. I don't know if they'll be able to do surgery for that. We're going to go to a optic neurosurgeon in Columbus. That was already scheduled before. And then a lot of his facial bones are shattered.
Over the last few months, the Ney family has received a tremendous amount of support from the community.
I've never felt so loved and so prayed for, and people that cared so much about him and our family. So it's truly been overwhelming and such a blessing. I don't really think he'd have gotten through things without all the prayers. I truly don't.
Today, that support is needed more than ever. Eric will be taking a medical retirement while Lisa has stopped working so that she can take care of him.
I don't know that it will be a total full retirement, so not being able to complete his career, not having all those extra years to make income is certainly going to bring them up short on long term, how they're going to be able to live and accommodate his injuries.
Through everything, the Nays have remained positive and are looking forward to their next chapter.
I do have faith that he's going to get better, better and better. He may not be perfect, but none of us are. He may not be the old Eric. He may be a better version of the old Eric, but you know, we do see a light at the end of the tunnel. We have faith that he's going to survive everything through this and be healed. So